Welcome back, folks. Dale Jackson here just for a quick little stream. And it will not require a lot of time here because this will be a quick little stream. And there's a good reason for that. And the reason is this is a pretty simple situation to understand. You're seeing a lot of people being very confused by this, but don't worry. I'm going to help walk you through this as quickly as we possibly can. I am Dale Jackson. I host a radio talk show in Huntsville, Alabama from 5 until 9 a.m. and then in Chattanooga, Tennessee from 10 until noon. You can hear me on all sorts of various social media platforms at The Dale Jackson or any podcast place there is. Also, I host a TV show every single week called Alabama Politics This Week. Trying to do streams, trying to do one a day for the entire year. This is going to be so short, I'm not even going to count this as one of the streams. So let's go ahead and get right into it, and then you guys can go on about your day, because tomorrow on the cable news shows, you're going to hear a lot of Democrats out there screaming and yelling about how this war is illegal. You're starting to see it already, and yes, it is pretty absurd. You see what's happening here. The bombing of Caracas, Venezuela, striking various parts of the city. Illegal bombing, as it was called by this social media site. And yes, I am using nobody's for a reason. You'll understand in just a second. Here's another one using headlines from various news outlets talking about the capture of Maduro, the capture after strikes. Trump says the U.S. will run Venezuela, which, by the way, Donald Trump, just big balls stuff. It's just what he does. He's out there talking about this stuff, telling people what's going on. This is a PhD in Mideast history here, Asal Arad. They say that this is imperialism. This is how you normalize it. Yeah, because we really need to normalize American imperialism. I'm sure that's a totally real thing that we really need to do. But we also have the White House confirming operations in Venezuela. This comes from a Democratic representative, Melanie Stansberry. Let's be clear, these strikes are illegal. The president doesn't have authority to declare war or to take large-scale military operations without Congress. Congress must act to rein him in. Okay, let me just stop right here for a second. And like I said, this is going to be short, and you're going to hear a lot about this over the next couple of days as people are telling you this is illegal, this is wrong, this is all this other stuff. It's none of that. It's not illegal. It's not wrong. It's none of those things. I do like this clip, though. This is Erin Burnett from CNN. Usually I say Erin Burnett misunderstands the news because she's pretty stupid, but, just kind of stumbled into something that's correct here. Listen to this.
Venezuela has a population of 30 million people, and now that is owned by the United States. Just to think about it from such a simple black and white set of numbers like that.
Yeah, you're a simple idiot, and it's not very surprising you're looking at it that way, but you are actually right. The United States does, in fact, own this. Once we've decided to go in there, you break it, you buy it. That's sort of the situation. We should allow them to determine what they're going to do with their future and let them be the ones to decide that. Now, I say all of that to bring you back to the conversation that we need to have. And is it legal? Well, the answer is obviously yes. This is very legal, and we all know this. The War Powers Act of 1973 says very clearly that the president can go into armed conflict, and he just has to notify Congress within 48 hours and limit the actions to 60 days. That's just one of the instances that says, yes, this is legal. Yes, he can do this. Yes, it is allowed, as much as they're pretending that it is not. And that is not the case. They, of course, are wrong as always. So the media and their Democrats are going to be very upset about this. But let's go to one more here. The authorization of use of military force. You're going to hear that term thrown around. No one authorized the use of military force. Nobody authorized the use of military force in Venezuela, not Nicaragua, excuse me. But we are still under this, the authorization of use of military force in order to battle terrorism. If you look at the date on here, you can see it's September 14th, 2001. It's still ongoing. Now, you may not like the 1973 War Powers Act. You may not like the authorization for use of military force. You may not like any of this. But tough shit. If you don't like it, repeal it. Whining and bitching and crying about it all the time doesn't do anything because it's still there. It was there for Bush. It was there for Obama. It was there for Trump. It was there for Biden or whoever was running the auto pen, I guess. And it's there for Donald Trump again. If you don't like it, repeal it. But at this point in time, the idea that they haven't broadly utilized this to do whatever the hell they want is stupid. So when people go on television tomorrow and they tell you, hey, there's been no authorization of the use of military force, remind them about the authorization of use of military force from September 14th, 2001. Remind them of the 1973 War Powers Act, because that's there as well. And they can, in fact, do these things. So while they're pretending that it can't be done, remind them how wrong they are. And look, sometimes people need to be reminded how wrong they are. Sometimes they do. It's just what happens. So there you go. Like I said, it was going to be short. It was short. We'll talk to you soon. I'm Dale Jackson. Follow, like, do all the things you're supposed to do on all these various platforms if you don't mind. And we'll talk to you soon.